And I'm gonna say this right now for it. I've said it online a bunch of times. Activision, kiss my ass. Treyarch, kiss my ass. I don't give a damn what your, excuse of, oh, well, you can uninstall parts of the game. No, there's no reason why on the back of your game case it's like 285, I think, gigabytes minimum. So you mean to tell me installing everything for this is going to take up almost half of my available storage on the PlayStation? No, no, fuck that. No, screw you, Treyarch. Screw you, Activision. That is so stupid. Hello and welcome everyone to a very special episode of the Retro and Remastered Podcast. Today, me and K-Ray, how you doing today, K-Ray?
Doing good, doing good.
We wanted to just, talk about and give our first impressions of the recently released PS5. I happened to get mine in on Thursday. I believe so did you.
I sure did. Yes, I did.
And, just talk about the things we like about it, the stuff we didn't like about it, if there is anything you don't like about it, and, what games we've played on it, and just general first impressions. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Let's just start out from the beginning. Like, what was your experience, like, setting it up, how everything went? How do you have your setup? Do you have it set up vertically or horizontally?
First of all, I want to say, for those out there who hear this podcast and you don't have the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S or the PS5, don't worry. They are, I think Walmart is already saying that they get new shipments the following week, and today is November 14th. Just throw a date on there. So fret not, my friends. Fret not. You will eventually get one. Don't become those people that go on OfferUp and pay like $8,000 in a leg just to get one. Just wait.
Oh, God, no.
Just wait and you will get it. With that said, I ordered mine from Sony. Sony did your boy a favor and sent me that invite. So I pre-ordered it from them. I wish I could have got in-store pickup like you did.
Hey, mine did not go off without a hitch, so.
I was like, because they could have delivered it early. They shipped it early, and it was in Memphis, Tennessee for like 2 or 3 days just sitting there.
Well, that was just the driver trying to figure out if he really wanted to send it to you.
Yeah, that's probably true. But it did, like when you clicked on it, it does say that they had specific instructions not to deliver it until whatever's on the date.
Okay.
12, and I was like, you busters.
Just some people ended up a little bit luckier whether their driver actually paid attention to that.
Yeah, I wish my driver didn't. And I could have got it on like Tuesday, Wednesday, could have already had it set up, ready to go. And then Thursday got it in, but that doesn't matter now because I have one. So I got it. My room looked like a hurricane. I took like some videos on my phone, which I'm trying to see what I want to do with them. I was going to try to like do some type of compilation with it and then throw it on the channel just for people to see. But I got mine laying down. I don't have it standing up at all.
Same. I'll say this, like, you might have had to wait for it. I went through a nightmare. Like, getting the system was fine. Getting the extra controller and the charger, fine.
Can you talk about that?
Huh?
Can you talk about that?
Okay, so I don't know what was up with Best Buy for it. I don't know how they handle their pre-orders when it comes to games or something like that. Because I go in there, I give them like all of my information, even parts of like my email say some of the stuff is ready for pickup. So they give me my system, they give me the controller, they give me the charger, and I go to do the extra, because I did all these pre-orders separate. And they tell me it's like, oh, well, the games aren't ready for pickup. And I was like, well, what do you mean the games aren't ready for pickup? Like, they're out. And he's like, well, your pre-orders aren't ready for pickup. And I was like, how can my pre-orders not be ready for pickup? I'm just going to give you this thing. I'm standing there. He's, on the other side of the counter. And behind him is the rack of PlayStation 5 games that they're selling. Like, you have to go to him if you just want to buy the games.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you clearly have some right there. Are you just telling me that you get 2 different shipments of selling and pre-orders, and my pre-order just happened to not show up or something like that? And he goes, pretty much that's it. And I said, well, have you guys charged me for it yet? And he said, well, no, we don't charge until your pre-order comes out. I was like, cool, cancel all those pre-orders. And he's like, well, you sure you want to do that? I was like, well, you haven't charged me, so canceled them all, did that. And I just ended up having to like buy all of the games. So I dropped, let's see, 7, 14, 21.
Oh, here go the figures. Rack it up.
Yeah, 7/14/21. Yeah, because it's $70 game. It's $210 on physical games for it, and then Assassin's Creed was $60, and then Devil May Cry digitally, which I think was 40 or 50. So yeah, I spent about as much on games as I spent on this system.
Go. Didn't you say people were arguing too?
Oh yeah, there was like a guy there. I guess he just wanted to come in and buy one. They told him, "Oh, there's not any pre-orders available, or there's no items just to come in and buy here." And the guy just kind of sits there and starts yelling at them, "F this, F that." He's like, "Well, you know what? Fine, I'm just gonna go buy me an Xbox." And just the cashier with like a cold face, he's like, "Go ahead. That doesn't change anything for us. You changing from Sony to Xbox still gets us $500. We don't have any Xbox Series X either, though."
Oh wow.
And that guy, like, he was just pissed and he stormed out. And I was like, "Can I get my PlayStation?" He's like, "Did you pre-order?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And then they proceeded to not want to give me my games, but
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be some madness. I went to Best Buy that day
Mhm.
because I needed another Ethernet cable. Because I
Mhm.
didn't want to like switch in between my PS4 and PS5. I'm like, no, everything's set up in its own little space. I don't got time to be like reaching under here, unplug this, then bring it down lower to this one plug. I'm not doing all that. So I
Mhm.
went and bought one. But when I got there, like I don't know if people didn't know it was open or what. Cause I thought it was gonna be like a mayhem, but it was probably like me. I was the first one in there, and then when I left, it was like probably like four people in there.
Yeah, I think the store I went to, I think they opened at 9. I got there at
Yeah,
like
they did.
10:30, 10:40, something like that. I wasn't rushing it. I had to work that day anyway. I just happened to get a little bit sick earlier than expected. It wasn't too bad in there. There was there was the angry guy, then there was one other guy that got his pre-order before me, and it was like in and out.
That's
Nothing, there
where
was no line to get in. I don't know if they had a midnight launch and just anyone then. I don't do midnight launches anymore.
I don't think they did. I think it was 9 a.m. They opened up instead of 10.
I know they had a ton of them just still back there for pre-orders, so.
Only thing they had there was for pre-order. They didn't have like anything else.
And the only thing they really had was like one PlayStation 5 camera and a bunch of the controllers, like an entire wall of controllers.
They didn't. That's crazy. They must have put them out because
hmm
I went looking when I was grabbing the Ethernet and I didn't see anything next gen.
They weren't in any like noticeable place. They were like, if you went to where like the accessories were for the PlayStation 4, they were just
Mhm.
kind of randomly on a peg there. And then for games, if you went to where the actual games were, they were basically completely out. I think they had like one $100 copy of Godfall
Okay.
left.
Okay.
And
Yeah. It's either that or they put them out like as I was there because like when I got there, they literally just opened the door.
yeah, all of the Series X and PS5 things were basically right there by the register. They had way more Xbox games than anything else. Like if you were looking for a Series X game, or I guess a game that upgraded to Series X, I don't know what they're doing, but like you could get those without too much trouble. Same with COD, you can just grab one of those off the shelf. But everything that was a PlayStation 5 game that I saw was pretty much out.
Yeah, they I was telling a friend of mine in Vegas that the demand for PlayStation 5 and its games or accessories was so damn high because he went and got an Xbox Series X for his
hmm
daughter. She doesn't, well, I think she does now, but she doesn't she that was for her birthday, so I don't think she know.
hmm
But he was talking about how easy it was. Like he was like,
Really?
I just went online, I pre-ordered, smooth selling, nothing crazy. And then for the PS5, he was like up all day and night, like scouring
hmm
everywhere. He was like, I had it in my cart so many times, it got taken out. And I was like, I told you the demand for it is so high. And then they got all those software bots that
hmm
it's gonna be crazy. But he ended up getting one, so that was cool.
No, that's good. I
But
mean, it
go ahead.
sucks that people were having this much issues, but every console launch I've ever tried to do, not been an experience this bad. But normally, I'm usually not the type of person that gets one. I'll get one 3, 4 months after it comes out. This
That's
is
what
the
I
first.
did. The three, the four was the first time that I actually got one like at launch. Because I do the same approach as you. I usually
hmm
wait some months and then I'll get it after they didn't fix the bugs or whatever. But my original four never had any issue like at all. And only reason I got rid of it is because brother went through some struggles, so I
hmm
had to sell it. But I never had any issues with it. And then so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put a little faith in y'all. And I've been hearing all the developers been saying like, yo, it's a go. So I was like, I'll try getting it at lunch.
Everything in general was kind of, it was hectic. That's just what I'm going to go ahead and say. I was dreading going to the store, and then when I got there and there was no one there, I was actually kind of relieved.
I would have been too.
And
people do some crazy stuff for these consoles.
there was like one guy, like as I was walking it to my car, he like stopped, rolled down his window, and then just yelled out, "Yeah, PS5!" And I was like, "Yeah, thanks, thanks, guy." Like, I don't know how to respond to situations like that. I'm not a cheery kind of person. I'm kind of, my level of tone you have right now is my general demeanor unless you piss me off.
You
So
should have celebrated. You should have, yeah, cut on some final countdown.
oh god, no. That was my general experience of trying to get stuff for it. I'm gonna say this. I don't know, because you got the all digital one, I got the one that has the physical drive on it. I'd seen pictures of the system. I was not expecting the system to actually be the size it was.
Yeah,
Like,
I knew it was big. At first, I didn't even think. Like, I grabbed it with the little foam things that hold it together, and I'm like, it's not really that big. It's not big. And then
you
I
realize
took
those
it
foam
out.
things don't add much to it.
Yeah, I take it out, and I'm like, oh, especially like putting it by my PS4. I'm like, oh yeah, it literally almost takes up my bottom slot in my entertainment system.
Same, like I have mine in like the top slot of it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes up, it barely fits within that thing, and I've got it laying, on its side. I will say this. I'm glad that it came with a stand for if you want to, stand it up vertically or to help
Yeah.
balance it when it's horizontal. I wish if it was, for setting it up horizontally, it was more than just a friction fit. Because, when you stand it vertically, it screws into the base of the system.
Yeah.
I wish doing it horizontally, because the way my entertainment system is, I have to kind of finagle it in there. Whenever I'm trying to plug cables into the back of it, that little base kept
Uh,
popping off for me.
I don't know. Mine was good. I just pushed it kind of almost to the back
Mm-hmm.
where the booty is, and I was like, let me get right here, make sure it's a nice fit, and then I ran all my cord before I even put the system in there, and then I just had my brother hold the console as I plugged everything in. It click, 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 and slid it up in there.
So you had help. I see. Just so everyone knows, the PS5 is a two-person like operation. If you want to actually make it go quickly and easily, and no,
Yeah.
it's really easy for the most part. And
Get you a crane and just drop it in and
so here, other than the base, my first thing I want to say, like, what is your opinion of like how it looks?
I don't have an issue with how it looks. As
Really?
far as no, I don't really have an issue. Like I like that they tried something new. That they actually want to do something completely different. It's a new console, so it's supposed to be next gen. It's supposed to change up the look. Not supposed to look like an intercom. Sorry.
So I'm one of those people. I don't like the way it looks. It reminds me too much of like the gimmicky PC towers. I like the color scheme of it. I actually really like the design of the controller over the system itself. I'm curious to see what they do, because we do live in a generation now where we're gonna get a PS5 Pro. I'm curious to see what the design of that looks, if it kind of reverts back to a boxier design or if they do a slim line.
Same.
And I mean, you don't have this issue, I think, with the digital version of it, but like the lump that comes off of the disk drive, it's an ugly looking system in my opinion.
Yeah, no. So mine's
Yeah.
just sitting looking pretty. I feel like if you had multiple consoles, next gen consoles, the Xbox and the PlayStation, and you
Mhm.
sat them in the room
Mhm.
and you were to walk in that room, I feel like you would not notice the intercom, but
Mhm.
you'll notice the PlayStation. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think they tried and it'll work.
It stands out like really well. Like, I do agree with you. It's cool that they went a different route. Every like PlayStation that's come out has basically been either a gray or a black box. So, it's cool that they went this other route with it. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm buying it for the games and I'm buying it for everything else. I can deal with an ugly looking system.
I agree.
So,
I agree as far as games,
so
but you can't tell that to certain people because They're gonna either call you a pony, a bot, or anything out of just being a gamer.
Yeah. And this is something I will say, and I know the Xbox, they've been saying the exact same thing about it. This system's quiet. Like
Yes.
compared to the jet engine that was the PlayStation 4, this thing is remarkably quiet.
Yes, it is. That's what I highlighted. I did like a little post calm down review on my phone.
Hmm.
And I was like, yo, I was playing this stuff and with the games running, doing all this craziness, it's just sitting there pretty. It's not making
Hmm.
a sound compared to my four. If I would cut something on right now, you're gonna hear like people vacuuming in the building or something. I'm
Hmm.
like, cut it out. Even like after I cleaned my PlayStation, like sucked all the dust out of it, cleaned the filters, all that around the
Hmm.
fan, it still get its jet engine on. That is a nice thing. I did hear that in reviews too a lot before the PS5 actually came out. Everyone kept saying, yo, this thing is nastily quiet. So I'm happy about that. That's much needed improvement.
So what's your opinion on the controller then?
Oh, I love the controller.
Okay.
I love the controller. That's like one of the it's probably my favorite thing about the console is the
Hmm.
controller. Like I feel like Xbox or Microsoft has better controllers, to be honest, on the
Hmm.
other systems. And especially the four. The four I went through so many controllers. It's the first time I ever had like this many PS4 controllers
Really?
because something will go wrong with it. Yeah. They didn't last as long as my other ones for some reason.
See, because I have four PlayStation 4 controllers, but all of them still work. And they're all in like different stages of wear. Like you can very clearly tell which one is the first one versus what's the newest one. I did buy a second PS5 controller just for multiplayer and because this is a point of criticism I have for this controller. On average, they're saying online it lasts about 3 hours, and from when I'm using it, that seems to be about right when it's dropping to like the last little bar of battery. And I think that has a lot to do with the what are they calling it? The haptic
The
feedback
haptic
controllers,
feedback, yeah.
which I was super critical. I was like, that's dumb. I don't get why that's being done. And then I played a couple of games with it. I love it.
Yeah,
Like in
same
terms
here.
of helping with or like not emotion, with immersion. Oh, it is nice.
It is nasty.
Like I remember I don't know if you gave it a shot yet, but just while I was waiting for stuff to download because I was having network issues in my house.
Astra,
Yeah, and it's just having you test things. I remember like I got to like this little it looks like a slot machine slash like
this little
gotcha
thing you
con
pull
thing.
down.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
remember I pulled it down, it like stopped. And I was like, okay, it stopped. And I'm not realizing because I'm so used to these things not having any type of resistance that I pull it down, nothing's happening, and then I realize, oh no, I actually got to put some force in it. Like I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels like a clunking or a ka-chink
Hmm.
kind of sound, and you get that bit of resistance, and then it completely lets go, and it goes back, and it just helps so much with like feeling like what you're doing. The rumble in it is really good in that you can get two different types of rumble on each side of the controller.
Yeah. When I was swinging on Godfall
Hmm.
and I was doing the light attacks and the heavy attacks, my mouth just dropped and my brother was sitting here. He was like, "What's going on? Like, why you making that face?" And I was like, "Bruh." Then he looked at my hands and he was like, "What is the controller doing?" I was like, "Here, take it," because I can't explain it. Like when the the direction when he swings his sword, you feel it in the controller. Like it'll be like and like it like rumble or vibrate in that direction, and
Hmm.
it does it like heavily and lightly based on like what you're
Hmm.
doing. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Well, like in that game, when you get the big Warhammer kind of thing,
Oh
the
yeah,
fact that it's harder to physically pull that trigger when you're using a heavier weapon, it
and
it
yeah,
just
that resistance is crazy.
it's not like unlight. Like you can set it in your settings, but if you have it set at its base, which I think is strong, some of these things require a little bit of force.
Yep.
I was playing like the new Call of Duty, and I'm gonna say it is gonna give you a disadvantage when you're playing, just because you're not gonna be able to fire off those things as quickly. But knowing exactly when, like when you're pulling a trigger on like an actual gun, how you get that resistance, and then the moment it actually fires, it just kind of flings back really quickly, and then it
Hmm.
resets. That is exactly what it's like. So you can prime your shot, like you can pull it till you feel the resistance, and you know exactly when it's gonna fire.
Yeah.
And that's nice. Like, in terms of, like I said, for this controller, what it does to help with immersion and whatnot, that to me is the selling point of the system. Like, the games look good, especially if you're like clicking on the ray tracing. I don't have a TV that can run 120 hertz. I'm kind of having it set up to where if it'll run at 60 frames PS and look really good, then I'll do it. But I'm not trying to max out, 140 if my TV can't handle it for right
Okay.
now.
How
Like,
was your setup process?
setup was fine for the most part. Just turn it on. It did have, and I should have known from the beginning because at first it couldn't detect my internet at all. That should have been the red flag that I was gonna have like crap internet that day.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so I want to say this: load times or install times for your games are not that long.
No.
Downloading is not that long. Like I've seen some people say that it takes just as long as the Pro. Seems to be about right for it. I will say this for Demon Souls. There was a point where I went to play it. I looked at it and it was like, oh, it's going to be done downloading in 7 hours. It was not a large thing. So I thought there was something up with my system. No, it just turned out to be my network in my house only wanted to download at 5 MB. Everything's good in that. Everything downloaded really well for it. But the setup was like really clean and easy. I added, my account and my fiance's account to it without an issue. I didn't do the transfer. Like I know it asks you if you want to transfer everything over from
Yeah.
the PS4, which I have a 2 TB PS4. It wouldn't take any of that. So I just went ahead and grabbed all of my saves from my PS4 and sent it onto this system just to have it there in case I want to play a PS4 game on it.
Yeah, my setup it was funny because I was like trying to like record as stuff was like going on and
Oh,
trying to
okay.
get my brother to record stuff that was going on, but I gotta actually watch what he was doing because it seemed like he was just putting the phone down and then start talking, and I'm like, "Are we still recording? Like, like what you doing?" But the dang voice reader thing, like at first I was geeking out, then like later on as I was doing stuff, I was like, "Shut up!"
The
And it
voice reader
sound,
thing? I don't think
yeah,
I
it'd
ever
be
set
like
that up.
mine came with that on, so it'd be
Oh.
like, "Welcome to PlayStation. To hook up your PS5 controller." And at first I was like, "Oh snaps, he been talking to me." And then later on, it was like doing too much. It was like input your password, and I started putting it in. It was like 1156, and I was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I was like, cut the video."
Okay, because I play with headphones a lot, my TV's usually set to 0 on volume. It might have been doing that and I just didn't notice it.
Mm, yeah,
So,
he was doing that, and I was like, "No, stop, stop it, please." So I had to like find where that was at to cut that off. And I'm like,
hmm.
got that out of here. Then I got to the HDR part, and it was like, "Your TV doesn't have HDR," and I'm like, yes, it does." I'm like, you need to figure it out. So I'm sitting over here arguing with the TV, with a console telling me my TV doesn't have HDR. And I'm like, yes, it does. But my dumb self forgot I only activated HDR on the HDMI port that my PS4 has.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, "Bruh," and then my brother was like, "Does your TV have a HDMI every port?" And I was like, yeah." Then I was like, "Wait a minute, oh my gosh." So then I went to the little settings, and then I was like, "Yeah, since I don't watch 4K stuff on TV because there's not enough channels for me to be
Hmm.
paying for it, I only kept it on my PS4 slot one." So I cut that one on, reset the TV. Then it was like, "Oh, you got HDR," and I was like, "Yeah, I knew I had HDR, Buster." So after that, and then I set up like because I got every accessory. I was just being greedy, but I set up the camera, set up everything but the remote, which I'm probably not gonna even touch. But hey, I got it. And after all that was said and done, then we were good to go. The games were downloading. Demon Souls downloaded quick.
Hmm.
Like it'll like notify me on the PlayStation, then my phone PS app will notify me, and it'll be like, "Hey, your game is ready to play." So, and my brother was over, and because he was supposed to get one with me, that's how we always usually do it. I didn't want to really rub too much salt on the wound, so I was like, not trying to click on things. I didn't want him to, what we call getting your suit tight, when that tie is a little tight around the neck. So I didn't want to do that. But he was like, "Man, you might as well click on something." I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Man, I'm already over here." So That's why I clicked on Godfall. We played a little bit of that, and now he has the next gen console bug. As far
Mm-hmm.
as now, he's disrespecting his PlayStation 4 because he's seen what the PS5 can do. So he's complaining about everything on the PS4 now. He's like, "Bro, why am I in this loading screen forever? Like the load shouldn't be this long." And I was like,
No,
like, you better stop.
you
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 need to
did
cut it
bring
out.
you did bring that part up for it. So I have been playing on top of this the new Yakuza game, and I started that on the PlayStation 4. I transferred all my stuff over, and that is one of the few PS4 games I have on the PS5. There is a noticeable difference in load times for some of these games. Like they're not going to make them look any better, but just in terms of, starting them, getting them playing, and just not having to wait around for it. I didn't test it on like Red Dead or anything like that because as of this moment, I don't think I have enough space on my system to install Red Dead. But I do know they were talking like I think 30 to 45 seconds to load up the game from the start versus the close to 2 minutes. The
Yeah.
Yakuza's loading time wasn't long, but we're talking like I think it was 30 seconds and you're dropping it down to like 10 now. So it is a drastic difference. So if you have the space for it, I would say, load up if you haven't finished it, load up a PS4 game onto it if you don't have anything else to play. Now, if you still have your PS4 and you're just playing the PlayStation 5 games, there's not much of a reason. Finish what you got and then, jump back into your old stuff. What's your opinion on the controller having the mic in it?
I think that's dope for other people. I always have a headset. So for people that can't afford to get a headset at the moment and they have some like AKGs or anything, they can just plug it up to the controller and then you have a mic and you got your headset there. I think that's dope. I haven't tried it as far as like I know on Astro, they have a point where you can like even blow into the mic, a little breathalyzer. So I don't know. I think it can be used uniquely for like type of games like knack type games or whatnot, or even like espionage type games,
Mm-hmm.
or games like horror. Maybe
Yeah.
you got to mute your mic or something, or you got to use your mic to talk. And like I
Mm-hmm.
know Sailor be playing. I forgot what it's called. It started with a P.
Phantasmophobia.
Yeah, that. And I know that the ghosts can like hear you and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be dope. You using your mic, trying to OD on that thing, and it comes and gets you. So I think you can do a lot of cool features if you actually use it.
I'd say it's a cool feature. It works out well. Just a little thing to anybody playing COD right now, or playing any multiplayer game, or just streaming. There is a mute button on that controller.
Yes,
It
it is.
lights up so you know that it's not actually running. I have heard some weird things from PS5 Twitch streamers that I guess don't realize that without even when you don't have a headset plugged into it, it's still broadcasting your audio. And when I'm playing Call of Duty, if you're the type of person that sits right next to your TV while you're playing, please mute your mic on that controller because I can hear
Ah, I
your
didn't know
TV, I
that.
can hear you, I can hear everything.
I didn't know that. Well,
That is my only complaint with that mic.
I'm glad you said that because I got a live. I'm gonna try to go live today. So
Yeah. Like if you plug a mic into the controller, then it operates just like normal. Have you streamed on this thing yet?
no, not yet.
Its interface for streaming so much better.
Okay, well then that's good.
So like when you go to broadcast, it just pops up a little window in your corner so you can put in your title for it, hit broadcast, it's fine. Now like if you wanted to see your chat on screen, it used to put that big bar on the side and it would
Yeah.
broadcast that bar. Now it's just in the bottom right corner. When a new person shows up, it'll flash it. I don't think it actually shows it on stream. And when they comment, it just puts up like a little bubble window for the comment and then it disappears.
Okay, because I had it cut off. So I'm like, if it
So did
looks
I.
anything like anything else, I'm like, I don't even want it up.
It's really nice. And I don't even know if it shows the conversation on stream, but whenever I would stream and you would show up for it, I usually would have to have the stream running on like my cell phone or something so that I could view chat
Yeah, that's what I
periodically.
did.
Yeah. So this is just a lot nicer just to be able to quickly glance. Now, I don't know if you get a bunch of them in a row, if it's going to, stack them up, but the fact that it's not a permanent thing on your screen, it doesn't lower your field of view for it or doesn't shrink your screen down. It's really nice. They did a good job this time.
Okay, that's dope.
So moving on from there, what do you think of the new interface?
While we're doing this, pull it up now, shall we? Okay, so I know themes are gone now, so no more like background type themes or anything. But I don't really care because they have like a theme for each game, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I do like Spider-Man theme song be going on my surround sound. I like it, they be bumping. But I like the interface. It's pretty, I was gonna say basic, not basic in a bad way. Like it's nothing crazy to me about it. I mean, the fluidity is dope, and I like how you can get to stuff much faster. I still have to get used to it too. Like, cause they have at the top, they have games and then media. I got to get used to everything though, cause like when you were like showing download progression games, like I don't even know where that's at.
Okay, so that is kind of my issue with the system. It took me forever to find it. In order to find where that download thing is, because it only appears while something is downloading, you hit the little PlayStation button on your controller, and at the very bottom, you know how it brings up those little tiny symbols?
One notification.
No, it's a completely separate one. It'll have a download sign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was looking for that. I was like, yo, where's my stuff at? Like I see all the notifications now, like
Yeah.
Godfall installed and stuff ready to play. I see all that now, but during I was like, where is that at? I mean, you can see it underneath the game,
Yeah.
like how much it's going, but I want to like see all three of them because I need to know like if every single one of them was downloading or not.
But yeah, I kind of wish they give you all these tutorials for setting up like your controller and doing all things. Kind of wish there was at least an optional home screen tutorial to say like, hey, here's where this is, here's where this is, here's where this is. If you want your downloads, hit this button and it'll be right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just kind of fumbling around. It's just kind of like probably my biggest criticism. I don't like the way the store is handled now.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that because friend of mine, same friend in Vegas, he was like, how's the PS store? And I was like, well, it's faster. I can say that. Like, you can get in, get out with the quickness. But I was like, it's weird. I was like,
it doesn't feel like you're entering like a store, like a separate thing.
I'm like, you go down, you can see pretty much what's available just scrolling down. But if you actually click on the must see and actually go into it, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, it doesn't feel like I'm going into a separate, like a store.
Right.
And then it just shows me games that for me I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna get that game the Pathless, but for the most part, most of these games I already got beaten. And if I didn't get it, I'm not putting it on my 5 with the memory that they give you. We talked about this off the podcast, but since we're in that area, the storage, you lose about like I think 10 gigs off bat just for console stuff. 10 is just for like to reserve the space for like games and apps to work properly. And then you lose the additional stuff for like the system to run itself.
Yes.
And then I had 667, I think like 0.2 gigabytes of space left. And then I downloaded Demon Souls, Godfall, and Miles Morales. And that was 132.2 gigs. So it left me with like 524.2.
Only 132 gigs. Oh.
Yeah, because I still play my 4. I'm going to continue to play my 4. And on that 4, I have 8 terabyte external hard drive and 1 terabyte in the console. So all the games that's not necessarily for me to play, like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, trying to think anything else, not Bud Snacks, but Hollow Knight, things of that nature. Like I got them on the 4. I'm gonna play them on the 4. And whenever PlayStation decides to, or excuse me, whenever Sony decides to reveal the specs for the SSD external, then I'll upgrade it. Cause I need nothing no less than like what I have on my PS4, and I know how much an SSD costs. I mean SSD costs. So I'm not trying to buy a damn what I can use to put down on the car storage. So they got to do something, but it needs more storage though. I don't have time to be like, dang, it's 5 games that I actually want to play at the same time right now, and I can't because 4 of them take all the space.
And I'm gonna say this right now for it. I've said it online a bunch of times. Activision, kiss my ass. Treyarch, kiss my ass. I don't give a damn what your, excuse of, oh, well, you can uninstall parts of the game. No, there's no reason why on the back of your game case it's like 285, I think, gigabytes minimum. So you mean to tell me installing everything for this is going to take up almost half of my available storage on the PlayStation. No, fuck that. No, screw you, Treyarch. Screw you, Activision. That is so stupid. There is no reason why you should be releasing a game that takes up that much. And yeah, I get it. Most people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer, but I'm not going to uninstall the multiplayer just because I'm going to play the story just to see how it is and then reinstall the multiplayer. That legitimately made me mad when I saw that. And yeah, it sucks that Sony didn't give us a terabyte. It's whatever. I'm more upset at, like I said, the game developers for how much space they need. And at this point, that is the only game that I think exceeds 75 or 80 gigs. I think that's the largest game I have behind it is
I think Demon's Souls is like 59.
Yeah, then that might be the next biggest one. I thought I had one that was like 80, but I could be wrong.
Let me double check. I got the controller in my hand still.
Because I know
Demon's Souls
Godfall is a lot.
It's only 52.98, and if you download, like if you get the expensive version and get the soundtrack and all that, that's another like 3.5 gigs.
I know Godfall didn't take up that much. Even when I was having bad internet issues, Godfall didn't take long to download.
Yeah, Spider-Man is like shy of 40, and Godfall is only like 23.6 G4. So
yeah, the only way I could see Spider-Man probably being more than that is if you bought the one that contains the original game.
The original, yeah.
Then you're probably looking to double that.
Yeah, the storage is a no-go. Storage is a no-go for me. I'm really going to actually like dive into it today. The games, that is.
So you put time into Godfall?
Yes.
How are you liking Godfall?
So far, I feel like it is something that opens up. I feel like it will turn into more later. I was letting my brother play and I play, and I wasn't like trying to like really immerse because again, I didn't want to like rub salt in his wounds by being my normal self. Like, oh my God, you see this?
You didn't want to cut him and then throw him in the Dead Sea. I got you.
Yeah, so I was like playing and then kind of like holding back. So now that he is gone, I get to like fully immerse. But from what I played, so far I like it. I like the different weapons, the different armor, and then when you hit me with the the knockout punch, when you're like, "Hey, you want to play it?" and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It was like, co-op, and I was like, this ain't no co-op game. And then I looked it up real quick and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the co-op game. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be even better, because I was just playing it out. So I'm going to start a new character, of course, so I can like get footage, and I'll play that one, I guess, with you, or play with this character, and then I'll start over with a new one. I can throw it on a channel. But so far, it's pretty cool.
That's the one I've put the least amount of time into. It seems interesting. It feels like a launch title to me. Like I wouldn't call it bad, but it's not blowing me away either. Yeah, I'm hoping that the multiplayer probably makes it stand out more.
I think it will. But the one I'm waiting to click on.
And I'll say, if you're a Souls fan, you're gonna love that game.
We're gonna do the Souls.
Yeah, like especially if you're someone who knows the original Souls game. Like I only know that first area really well.
I know it.
You could basically just go entirely off of memory, pre-plan everything. It feels like there are a few points where there are more enemies than I remember, but I'm going to have to load up the original one and see if it's just my memory or if they did add a few more. You want to know what was the one upgrade in that game that really took me by surprise and I really liked it?
What is it?
Just mouth movement. Like when I'm looking at someone and their mouths are moving, it's not just a bunch of people wearing helmets anymore.
Yeah.
And, I made this joke online to you where it's like, oh, there's this great character creation for it, but you're going to be wearing a helmet, so it doesn't matter. My character, at this point, I have not gotten a helmet for him. Now I'm playing the mage class, but...
Oh, yeah, you really trying to go in there deep.
Hey, they're faster. I will say, like, difficulty-wise, it's very close to the original game, so if you're used to modern Souls or Bloodborne or Sekiro, it does feel a lot easier in comparison. But I think that's just because if you have experience playing these games or anything else, it just feels easier. It's really easy to line up a backstab.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. You trying to play as a sponge for a minute, like mages are crazy, like once you get to certain points. But out the gate, if I remember this one correctly, yeah, out the gate, your mage is going to be a little sponge for a while until you can start getting certain things, depending on where you're going, though.
But, just seeing stuff for it, like when you're looking at an NPC who is wearing a helmet, but you can actually see through the slots in the eyes and see their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of detail in it, like I was legitimately impressed for it. And just like I said, when they're sitting there talking to you and their mouth is actually moving for once, that's nice. It really, I'm not gonna lie, it really makes me want either a Bloodborne 2 or a full-blown remake of Bloodborne, just to see what they do. Because even just being able to see the stuff, because like Phalanx, that first boss, or Phalanx, I forget how it's pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what that thing was when I played it on the PS3. Like, I knew it was a bunch of shields with spears, but it just looked like a blob with a light in it. You can now tell exactly what this is. Almost all of the enemies, I was like, I couldn't tell the difference between a soldier versus the undead looking guys sometimes. Everything is distinct enough looking that you can tell just from a glance what it is. The dragons look great. It's just beautiful. It is. They did a good thing by making that a launch title.
I agree with you.
Let me think. Going on to another one. Like I said, I have Valhalla, haven't played it, don't really have any intention of playing it. Didn't get it for me. Then I did grab Devil May Cry 5 Special. It's solid. I never finished Devil May Cry 5 whenever I got it on Game Pass. If you finished it, it's probably not worth grabbing at its current price. But if you never played it on PS4 or on the Xbox or PC and you're looking for something to play, it looks good. It runs really well. I do think that they're assuming that it's coming from like the person buying this probably has played the last one, because they give you a bunch of extra like red gems at the very beginning of the game, and I was basically able to kit myself out with a bunch of extra moves that I know I didn't have and way more health that I know I didn't have when I played it originally.
Okay.
Like I said, playing a PS4 game on it runs well. Yakuza played well on the PS4. Load times didn't feel long, but they just load a lot quicker on it. I am curious to see how Ghost of Tsushima would run on this, especially since it has its multiplayer now. But
yeah, are they gonna actually like do that though?
I mean, it's playable on it. I know at least the load times will be better. I don't know if they're going to upgrade it. The only game I have that has an upgrade, I haven't tried doing the upgrade for Doom Eternal, if it's even available yet. The only one I have is Dead by Daylight. I think they were a little bit misleading whenever they said it's like, oh, you get the game and you get a free upgrade. I assumed that it would be like a patch that just makes it look better on the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're downloading another copy of the game. You're basically downloading the PS5 version of the game. So you can play, like in case of Dead by Daylight, you're going to have a PS4 copy of Dead by Daylight on your system and a PS5 copy on it.
Yeah, I just go delete the other one.
I don't have much space left on there. Like you saying you've still got like 400 gigs. I'm jealous of that. But that's really all I've got to say about the system. The only thing, do you have anything else you want to say?
Besides it being extra quiet, looking good, the digital version, and me wanting to get ready to play it. No, I think we covered it. The controller is amazing. Just the feel of the controller, the triggers, the buttons, the analog, the grip. Like this is for people that got big hands and or medium-sized hands. I don't know. I like the whole layout. This is if you're looking for next gen, then I would get it.
Have you tried the headset yet?
Yes. Oh, that's what I forgot. Yeah. I mean, the headset doesn't, like, my Astros are pretty hard to beat as far as, like, comfortability and all that good stuff. So I can feel the difference, like, wearing them on my head. Mm-hmm. But the mic is very sensitive. Like, it picks up a lot, and I do like that. Soon I actually cut the headsets on. It literally cuts my sound bar off, so I don't have to, like, worry about muting it and hearing double audio. So I like that. Like soon I cut it on, and then it has on the side like balance your audio with your chat, and then it has a little monitor button where you can actually hear yourself so you can know how you sound to everyone else. I like that. Of course, your normal volume button and a mute button and on and off. But so far, I like it. I want to push it though, because I haven't got to push it yet. I want to see like how long it lasts until battery is dead. So I plan on doing that either today or tomorrow.
So this is my question, because does it come with a dongle for it so that you can plug it into any USB thing, or does it just auto sync with the PlayStation 5?
It comes with a dongle. You just plug it in. Like I got it in my PS5 in the front. And it
Okay.
doesn't have like an optical cable or anything, so you don't need to plug anything up to the back. It comes with a dongle and another USB-C cable.
See, it's great that they gave it to you for the headset, but not for the controllers. But hey, that's any things. I will say this, like, because the battery life in the controllers is kind of weak in my opinion, I would recommend investing in the little dock.
I was just gonna say that because I do have the dock, and I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't say this earlier. I like the dock because it doesn't plug into your PlayStation. It actually plugs into an outlet, so you can use or charge it anywhere. You don't have to use any of your slots.
So I think it would be the same. How many USB slots do you have on the front of the system?
I have one.
Okay, so it is just one. Same with mine.
Yeah,
That was a little bit of a
one of the
letdown
back.
for me, and it's in like a weird space on mine. It's like in the center of the system, not like off to the side or anything.
Yeah,
But
mine's like kind of. Yeah, mine's kind of in the middle-ish.
that's the thing. Like, I would really recommend if you're gonna get this system. It sucks that the controller's $70. I would say it's actually worth it. It is a well-built, good working controller.
And I got two.
You bought two extra ones?
No. I have the one that came
okay.
with, and then I have the one that's still in the box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bought an extra one too. But yeah, I would say no matter which system you get, invest in a second controller and invest in that dock because it's literally just drop it on it. It's good. It's charging. It's not like a wireless charging kind of thing. It does have like a little tiny spot that it does dock into, but it's really easy to do. It's really easy to set up. And you don't have to deal with like cables hanging off of your system and whatnot. And I think what was it, like $25 or $30?
I don't recall. I have to look it up.
Yeah, like it's not super expensive. I'm not going to say rush out and buy them as soon as you get the system, but it is an extra controller and that dock, I think, are well worth grabbing.
I agree.
So I've got everything said. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I think we covered it.
So the only thing I can really say at this point is more of a question for you. Do you regret spending, buying it?
No. It got Demon Souls. That's all I gotta say. It was bought when I seen Demon Souls on one of the I think the PlayStation revealed. I was like, yeah. I mean, it was gonna be bought anyway, but that was like the deal for me. So all right, take my money.
So for me, I don't regret buying it either. I still stand by a lot of the stuff I said from the beginning in that if you're not a Demon Souls fan, and like none of these games are really reaching out and being like, oh, play me, buy me, give me $500. Like if none of it's basically, telling you have to buy this, wait. Like, don't go online to a scalper. Like, in general, don't do that. But don't worry yourself. Like, if there's nothing that's instantly telling you need to play this or you want to play this or just, just reaching out, go ahead. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and wait on it. If you're like K-Ray here and you absolutely need your Souls fix, maybe try and hunt down one. Because to me, that's the only true killer app the system has on it right now. But that's it. Like I don't regret buying it. It's been a lot of fun where I have used it. Again, Activision is doing everything in its power to make it the only thing you can ever play on your system is their Call of Duty game. But hey, I got nothing else.
I got nothing else.
All right, so I just want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody listening to this. This is probably one of our shortest podcasts that we've had.
Yeah.
So, as I've said before in the past, you can find me on Twitter at SnitchezRR. That's SNITCHEZRR. And on Twitch at Retro and Remastered. Where can they find you at, K-Ray?
First of all, you sound like the dopest radio host ever.
Oh, thank
you. It's KYOT. You can find me on all social medias. K-Wire Gaming. Again, K-Wire Gaming, all one word. If you can find me on my YouTube channel, K-Wire Gaming as well. Twitch, K_Ray06. And if you like anything like media, TV, music, you can find my other channel, K-Ray. That's K-Ray TV.
Always good talking with you, K-Ray, and good night, everyone.
Good night.